Hi, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday's Shift Wednesday webinar. And I am Helen Thomas Robson, and I'm so excited to have you with us today. So we're going to be going over and talking about what a heart shift is. And I know this is a new idea, new concept to many of you that are watching this for the first time, or maybe you've been to my website or have seen some of my Facebook posts or Instagram posts or on my Pinterest or wherever it is, Twitter, wherever it is that you find or learn about the things that I teach here. And with a heart shift, this is actually what inspired me to want to be a life and business coach with teaching virtually. And it was because with Heart Shift, I had been going through, oh man, some just very difficult times in my own personal life. And through the research and study of different things that I could do to find peace for myself, I had run across some of these different practices that involved the healing of the heart. And that's what started me on my journey and what is now what I call Heart Shift. So to start, let me share with you what SHIFT is actually an acronym. And I wanted to create something that would make it easy for me to remember what I needed to do to change my emotions, to change my feelings, my mood, to change the direction of my day if I was having a horrible day, to get me to just stop and not be upset or mad about things, whether it was with other people, myself, my children. I knew that if I was going to thrive in a world of so many different, oh my goodness, good things and bad things happening, just so many extreme things happening. Extreme doesn't mean that it has to be good or bad, or it has to be bad. It can be either. It can be good extreme or good or bad extreme. I wanted to be able to thrive in the environment no matter what that was. And the other thing too that I learned is that there's a totally different definition for unconditional love. Did you know that? Unconditional love, yeah, we know it as being able to love no matter what somebody has done or how they've hurt us or what they've done to themselves or other people, but it's the ability to love no matter what environments you personally are in. I needed to learn how to love or have that love feeling. And it's not just to love, it's to create the emotion and the feeling of love and have that no matter what's going on around me, to me, with other people, whatever environment I'm in. But of course, if you can create an environment that is conducive to helping you to thrive, that's even better, right? So let me tell you this acronym. S in shift is for stop. Okay, so when you start feeling those intense emotions or just subtle ones that you know are not going to lead you to a good place, you want to just stop. Then you want to touch your hand to your heart. You can do it however is comfortable to you. You can do it like this. You can do it in a prayer mode. You can do just touching like this, however that is. But the reason why you touch your heart is that the brain actually, and they've done studies to prove and show this, they've used different machines to track this. And when you touch your heart, it actually brings awareness to your heart. When you touch any part on your body, it'll bring awareness to it. So that's why it's important when you do this technique that you're not crossing your legs or have one hand on another part of your leg, because wherever you're touching, your brain is going there. And that's what we want to do, is we want to turn the mind to the heart. So you're going to touch the heart, okay? And then you're going to so we have S-H-I, inhale. So inhale is breathing. And my husband, he has gone through so many different things. He's military. And so he told me, he's like, I'm blown away at how many things I can get through just by breathing, how many horrible conditions I've been in just by breathing. And I have actually had 4 babies and did home births with them all. And I can attest to that very same thing. Knowing how to breathe makes such a difference. So that's what you're going to do here. You're going to inhale very deeply for 5 seconds, and then you're going to exhale for 5 seconds. And while you're doing that, I want you to Now's the next word, F, feel. I want you to breathe in, find that feeling that is a negative emotion. Okay, I want you to picture grabbing that feeling with that breath of air that you just brought into down your esophagus. Picture it going down into your belly, swirling around in your belly, grabbing that negative emotion. Because emotions really reside in this belly area. Isn't that interesting? So your thought experience is in your mind. Emotion is here in the belly area. And when thought and emotion come together, they create a feeling. You would think that emotion and feeling are the same thing, but they're not. An emotion, a feeling is when thought and emotion come together, and it creates that feeling. You're going to have a love feeling or a hate feeling, and you want to go for a love feeling, right? So we're going to breathe that negative feeling out, and when you breathe back in, you're going to bring a positive feeling in. Now, love, since love is such a different definition for every individual. If you have a good experience with love, some families, there might have been abuse in them, and they might have said that they were doing it all in the name of love. So then the word love becomes a negative definition for some people. So instead of love, if that has happened with you, if you've had great experiences with love, you can use love. But if not, you want to focus on compassion, gratitude, hope, and joy. Okay, you want to be thinking, or happiness, you want to be thinking about those feelings when you're breathing. And I always close my eyes. So let's go ahead and we're going to do this. The first one, you're going to stop, touch your heart, breathe in. Okay. Now, while you're doing this and you're feeling, not just thinking about feelings, but you're feeling that feeling. What happens is your mind and your heart start to become coherent to each other. They start to become in sync. There is a organization called the Institute of Heart Math. They've been doing studies on the heart since the 90s. And they found that when you bring the heart and the mind in coherence together, it creates an energy and a magnetic pull that comes from the heart and actually surrounds your body, just like our atmosphere surrounds our earth. It's the same sort of thing. We have like this shield. And they don't really know how far out it goes because they don't have instruments big enough to measure it. But when you create these feelings, these love feelings, they create this magnetic and energy that emanates from you. Okay? And you have to understand and realize that when you do this, it sends a vibrational frequency out. So each feeling has a vibrational frequency to it, like a radio wave. And when you're feeling that feeling of gratitude, which is our next letter, T, thanks. So now we've done SHIFT. Thanks. That helps you to get more into the right feeling. If you're going through something that is just so horrific or so deep, just gut-wrenching to you, because I had gone through that. I had so much hate and anger inside of me for a period of time because of how just things that had happened, I'm not going to get into it in too much detail here, but it had caused so much anger inside me. It had changed me. And I didn't like the person I was because I was just this angry person that wasn't me. It wasn't. And I had learned to overcome that. But what happened is it brought these horrible negative habits where I would get quick to anger or I would get impatient. And these weren't me either. And it just made me really sad and upset that even though I had found a way to let go of the hurt and forgive, I still had this anger trapped inside of me, and I wanted to know how to get rid of it. And that's what led me to studying from individuals like Greg Braden, who's amazing, Bruce Lipton. They helped me to understand my body and how my body is made and created divinely to be able to handle extreme situations. And that I could learn how to gain control, not gain control, but to know that I am in control. I'm not, let's see, Bruce Lipton says it. He says that you are not a slave to your genetics, your DNA. I was born this way. This is the way my family is, or any of that kind of stuff. And he proved it with the science that he has done. And it made me realize I am not a slave to these feelings. I can break this. And Greg Braden also. And when you give thanks, it helps you to break that cycle. Greg Braden taught me that, when you have a thought or an idea, you have your neurons in your brain, right? You have neurons. What happens is that neurons want to be attracted to each other. They're constantly looking for each other because when they can connect, it intensifies and strengthens them. And so what they do, and he even showed me, I went to an event of his where he showed us these neurons have these little arms that kind of come out from their tentacles, and they're like searching. And what they're doing is look like they're grasping and searching in the dark. What they're doing is they're looking for another neuron. And as you're formulating an idea, have you ever realized when you have writer's block or creative block, or you're trying to come up with a new concept, and it just takes you forever to break through, and you're like, what? I get this. I'm not catching on to this. What is it that I'm trying to formulate here? What am I trying to create? What it is those little tentacles are searching for another neuron. And when they find that other neuron, they connect. When they connect, the light bulb goes off, just like in a little cartoon. All of a sudden, aha, it hits you. And they found scientifically it takes about 72 hours for this to happen, so 3 days. And then once they're connected, it just keeps going. It keeps growing, right? Well, guess what? Feelings are the same way. When you have a negative experience with someone and they create it creates this horrible feeling within you. And the more you think and the more I think about it, those tentacles are coming closer and closer, and then they connect, and then they're just, have you ever noticed when you're really building up a good mad? I'm realizing, I look back, I'm like, yeah, when I'm doing that for a couple days, I'm just get so angry. It's like the third or fourth day, I'm just intense about it. It's because you strengthened it by thinking about it and feeling it. And it makes it hard to get rid of. And did you know the one thing that helps you to break those little tentacles from each other on those neurons is a heart shift, is head to heart coherence. That's what a heart shift is. So when you touch your hand to your heart and you stop and you breathe in deep, you're setting the grounds for those neurons to break. And you're changing your reality. And it works. It will help you to get rid of that anger. It will help you to let go. That's what I found. And sometimes it's hard to say, I forgive. Sometimes it's even more difficult to say, I'll forget. But if you can start out with just saying, I'm willing to let go. You start out, if there's someone who's hurt you, and you just start out by being grateful for something for them. I know that's like the hardest thing ever, to be thankful to somebody who has hurt you. Are you kidding me? Okay, so this is what I want you to do. Think of something that just seems so silly, like with yourself. I'm so thankful that I can breathe, that I'm breathing in right now and I'm breathing out. It's something that we're just so apt to having and not thinking about, right? So start with that. And then start thinking about gratitude for other simple things. And then lead it to the person who's hurt you. Maybe you can say, they may not be nice to you, but they're really nice to your family. Or maybe they've done something kind for your family. Or maybe somebody else. Or maybe they have great hair. I don't know, something silly. It just starts it. It starts the process. And so just start having gratitude. Oh, I'm so thankful they have great hair. Sounds silly, I know. But it's you getting the words out. It's just getting those words out. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. Because once you say it once, and once you say, even if it's like, okay, I let go of so-and-so for being a total jerk to me. Can't believe they treated me this way. Even if it just starts out like that, that's something we can work with. And then you want to evolve it. And another great way to do this is journaling, writing it in a journal. Every morning, getting up and writing, I am willing to let go that so-and-so hurt me and that they're such a jerk. Then the next morning, I let go that so-and-so hurt me. Then the next morning, I'm willing to look past that so-and-so hurt me. Or now you're to forgive. I'm willing to forgive that so-and-so hurt me and they were a jerk. I'm willing to forgive so-and-so hurt me. And then the seventh day, I forgive so-and-so, period. Sometimes it's just line upon line, precept upon precept. It's a process, and that's okay. But the fact that you're doing it, and then every morning that you do that, before you start to journal, do a heart shift. It'll help get you in the right mindset, okay? Okay, so now that we've gone through the S, the H, the I, the F, the T, and we've talked about that, we've talked about forgiveness. The reason why this is so important, and I'm going to explain this to you, there is so much science behind this. And in fact, I just did my morning reading today, and there's a book called Worlds by Greg Braden, and it's actually not even in print anymore. You can find some used books on it. He has some great information on and DNA are connected, and how they're finding that you can actually change your DNA according to emotion and feeling. I know, crazy, right? But he goes through and he scientifically shows how it works. I'm going to tell you on a smaller scale how this works, and I'm going to share a little bit that I've learned from Bruce Lipton too in helping to explain this, because I'm the type of person, I can have strong faith. I actually grew up in a very religious family. I have very strong beliefs myself. It has never been an issue for me. I've just always been that's been a gift. I feel like it's a gift that it's been given to me from God, is to have strong faith. But I have gone through times in my life where I lost my faith. And it was very difficult going through those times not having my faith. And I've gotten it back. So I know that even if you don't have faith, you can develop it and have it, because I had to go through that at a couple points in my life. Now, faith is actually a love emotion. It's a love feeling category. It has a vibrational frequency. Remember, I was talking about those radio waves, right? That go out and it looks for other radio waves that are the same, and it brings it back. Okay? So faith is very, very good and strong. Now, I've had this always, but I have a very logical mind too. I am right-brained and I am left-brained. It gets a bit confusing at times. Yes, I have to admit. I do have internal struggles at times, right? So when I have something that I believe in and have faith in, knowledge without seeing, or belief in something without seeing, there we go. And then that turns into knowledge later on. Well, when I can find something that proves what I have faith in, oh my goodness, I am in heaven. So I'm going to share with you some really great scientific evidence on how your feelings, how HeartSHIFT can change you. And it can even change you physically. Okay? Not just what's happening on around you, but what's happening inside of you on a very crazy, deep level, where it can help change your cells and also help to change your DNA. So Bruce Lipton, he was one of the very first scientists to do stem cell research. And he was mocked and made fun of forever about it in the beginning, because they thought he was crazy. But now They're doing the same stuff he was doing 20, 30 years ago. So what he did is he took some stem cells and he cloned them over and over and over. He took one stem cell, cloned it over and over. And with this stem cell, he put all of these cloned stem cells into 3 or 4 different petri dishes. And each of those petri dishes had an environment. An environment's like a little aquarium that would support bone or muscle tissue or fat cells. Okay? He took these stem cells and he put them, they're all cloned exactly the same, remember? He put some in each one of those and he waited. And when he went back, he found that those cells turned into bone and muscle tissue and fat cells. They turned into what they needed to be with that, to be part of that. Our cells alter themselves according to the environment that they're put in. Now that environment is internal and external. Things affect you externally, affect you emotionally, affect you internally. The reason why that is because when you create a heart feeling of compassion and gratitude and joy and love, and what it's doing is they've found that the heart, brain, they call it the little brain, it has neural pathways in it. It has the ability to have its own memories. All of this. In fact, you can go and Google it. There are studies, there are experiences of people who've had heart transplants. And after the heart transplant, they've had complete personality changes, or they have cravings of foods or memories or thoughts or emotions that they never experienced before. And later on find out that those are the same thoughts, memories, experiences, or cravings of the person that they received the heart from. Because even each one of our organs has the ability to retain memory and information. Okay? Your heart has the same thing. Now there's more neural pathways to the brain than there are to the heart. These neurons in the heart, when you have this love feeling or emotion, what happens is it sends a signal to the brain, because the brain now knows that the heart is in control. So it kind of slows and shuts down. They have instruments that show this. And the heart tells the brain to release into the body. Now, if you have fear, what chemical is going to be released into your body? Adrenaline, right? Okay, if you have happiness or something great that has happened, what chemical will be released into the body? Like dopamines, right? So when your heart is having that heart feeling that you just created, okay, it sends a signal to the brain sends out the proper chemical with that feeling. And guess where that chemical goes? It goes and it's through the bloodstream, throughout the body, and it surrounds your cells. And it becomes the environment that your cells are in. And what do your cells do when they're in an environment? They adapt, they change. So if you have adrenaline going all the time because you're stressed and overworked all the time, or you're angry all the time, have you noticed that when someone is angry or depressed or sad, or they look older, actually changing their cells? It's causing harm to them. And their cells are changing and they're aging. For another segment, you'll have to check back with me when we'll be doing this, but there is some amazing studies on the DNA and what's called telomeres. And telomeres are what help keep you youthful. It's the fountain of youth. They've actually found that you have control of the fountain of youth in your own body. And that is through how you can control that through HeartSHIFT, anti-aging too. And I'm going to do a whole segment on this. So stay tuned for it. It's going to be really good. But isn't that amazing? The secret to the fountain of youth is within each of us, and it's in your ability to do a heart shift, to do head-heart coherence. I will tell more and teach more about that later, but back to what we're talking about here with the cells. And what they have found is this heart shift also affects your DNA. It's not permanent. Your genetics are not permanent. They're a blueprint. And they're a blueprint for whatever environment you're in, emotionally, physically, your surroundings. Another study that was done, there was a family, and at a certain age, like 40 years old, they all got a certain type of cancer and would die. And this young little baby was adopted into this family. Now, this baby had no background that had that showed any type of connection with this type of cancer. This baby's biological parents, there was nothing on either side. This baby was adopted into this family. And guess what? By the time this baby hit that age, 40, that man got the same cancer that his family would get and die from. Because your environment is what you surround yourself with too. And it's the way you talk, it's the way you act, it's the way your family interacts with each other, it's the way you respond to different situations. It's the foods that you eat. It's everything. Everything that you do affects your cells. Okay? And your cells will change according to that environment. So here, with what I'm doing, I'm teaching you how to not just do heart shifts. I'm going to teach you how to do creative shifts, because creative shifts help you to get a balanced brain so that you are right-brained and left-brained. Because guess what? You are. Nobody's just right-brained. Nobody's just left-brained. We are both. We just might be imbalanced in one area. But I'm going to show you how you can do some basic exercises in creating a heart shift and being more creative and being able to connect with your subconscious better, because that's on the right side of the brain, and being able to be a better creative problem solver. And this is going to help to create opportunities and open opportunities in your life that you will be blown away with. Okay? So that's going to be creative shift. Also, include like how you dress, how you hold yourself, how you with images, like what kind of pictures do you have hanging on your wall? Where you live, is it a beautiful environment? Does it help you feel happy? I mean, creative shift is going to cover everything from environment, from your inside. From your creativity on the inside with your right brain to what beautiful things you're creating around yourself and on yourself. The other one that we're going to be doing is a wellness shift. A wellness shift is going to be including what foods you're bringing into your body, what you're drinking. My most favorite is I'm going to be teaching you how essential oils work with your heart shift too. And that's why I'm bringing this up right now, because essential oils are such an amazing, they can bridge the gap. They're amazing at that, at bridging the gap and helping you when you're having that hard time. They work right there with forgiveness. They're really great at that. I'm going to show you how you can have emotional wellness by using essential oils. And there's also some amazing ways you can use essential oils internally too for wellness on the inside, creating a well environment inside of your body so that your body will thrive and fight against anything, build up your immune system and help you to be healthy. The other area we're going to be talking about that helps with your environment too is LeaderSHIFT. You know, LeaderSHIFT is going to involve personal and professional development. Personal, professional, financial development, because those areas affect you so much emotionally, don't they? How you feel about yourself, how you are at work, how you feel about your finances. If you're imbalanced in any of those areas, doesn't it affect you negatively? Yeah, it does. So we have a program that's going to help in that area. We have something, I have something for you that is amazing with Mental Fitness Challenge. It's a 90-day program. And we're actually, what's really great with our 90-day challenge is the 90-day challenge. It's going to be Mental Fitness Challenge. It's going to be some creative challenge and wellness challenge and heart challenge all combined into one. Get your shift together. I love that. So you'll be able to get your shift together in 90 days. That's what we're calling it. We're calling it Get Your Shift Together in 90 days. So just some wonderful things coming down the road here. With the LeaderSHIFT too, what I really love about it is, the leaders in our country today, back in colonial times, it was the lawyers. As goes the lawyers, so goes the country. Well, in our generation, it's so goes the business owners, so goes the country. And wow, after this last election, I guess we can see that too. People just see business owners as leaders. They do. It's just this generation does that. I don't know why that is, but they've done studies on it and they found that the leaders of our world today, people turn to business owners. So with LeaderSHIFT is all about helping to find and develop individuals and business leaders or business owners to be leaders in their communities and make a difference so they can become more involved in their communities, so that you can become more involved in your families and you can be financially free and independent. That's what the LeaderSHIFT has to do with. And I'm really excited about that one. That one's one I've been very passionate about for about a year now. When I first read the book, The LeaderSHIFT by Oliver DeMille and Orrin Woodward. And I just knew it was an answer to the issues going on in our country. And it goes so well with what I'm doing here with HeartSHIFT, WellnessSHIFT, and CreativeSHIFT. So I wanted to include it and use it also as a system in a way that you can create wellness in your environment personally and professionally and financially. So we've gone over a lot and it's been really great being here with you. I'm hoping I didn't forget anything. And for sure, we will be covering more on this. But getting into a heart shift and learning this is key. And the other thing that, and I'm glad I just thought of this, that you want to make sure that you do before I sign off, when you're doing the heart shift, you want to do it for 3 minutes. You can do 3 minutes a day in the morning and 3 minutes at night. You will notice a huge difference. In the morning, when you're doing your heart shift, you release the negative emotions and set your intentions for the day, feeling what it feels like to have a great day, feeling what it feels like to have that deal go through, feeling what it feels like to get along with your kids or have your children not fight, feeling what it feels like to live and love the life and business that you have, okay? And creating that, because this is about creating too. This is all about creating. Now, at night, when you do the 3 minutes, you're gonna erase and get rid of and wash off any negative that happened. And you're gonna set your intentions again, because at night, when you're sleeping, is when your body is healing and processing. And this is a great way for you to get a good night's rest, which is very key in helping your cells to be in the proper environment to thrive, but also for your mind and for your heart. And you're gonna set that. Me personally, I do a heart shift 6 times a day for 3 minutes at a time. And when I'm doing that, I am setting my intention. I'm thinking of one thing and I'm focused on it for those 3 minutes. I'm not skipping around in my brain, because when you skip around, you start getting head and going with it too, and it breaks the head to heart coherence. So just be thinking of one thing, one person, whatever that you're grateful for and how it makes you feel and how excited you are about it. And then the next time you do a heart shift, you can pick a different one if you want, or you can just stick with the same one. But those are going to be a couple of key elements that will help you to have a great experience and for this to work. And if you ever want to know if there's a way that you can test and see if it's working, there's actually, and I don't think I have it with me right now. Shoot, I was going to bring it. Heart Math, Institute of Heart Math has an EM wave. That's EM wave 2. That's what it's called. EM wave 2. It's a little monitor that you hook up to your ear. It's portable. You can hook it up. There's software for your computer, and you breathe in and it monitors you and it helps you to know if you're in coherence. And it even shows, when you hook it up to your software on your computer, it will show diagrams, charts. It'll show you where you fell in and out of coherence, what your heart rate was, everything. It's really amazing. And I wish I had that with me right now to share with you. I was going to share that with you and I totally forgot about it, but We will go over that. You can find that on the website too, and it's a really great product to help you know if you're being coherent. And even if you're only able to use it a couple times and not have your own personal one, you feel and you see what that feeling feels like, you'll be able to do it again and duplicate, replicate over and over and over. So anyway, it was really great being with you guys today. And like I said before, I'm Helen Thomas Robson, and this was an episode of this was an episode of Wellness. Look at that. I just like totally messed up and I'm live. Yay. So anyways, I'm Helen Thomas Robson, and we just had a shift webinar Wednesday, and we'll see you at the next one.